Hello, Deanne here. I hope you're all well. I want to share a story with you. A few years ago, out of nowhere, I just felt compelled to go on a water fast. I just felt compelled. I couldn't even bring myself to pick up any food. And the first day I struggled, admittedly. Second day I started actually feeling good. And by the third day I had more energy and felt increasingly good. And I've been wanting to do a 3-day water fast for the last few months, but haven't been able to bring myself to do it. So I asked for some support, and I have a friend who's doing it with me. But more recently, I was watching a masterclass, I guess, with Tyler Tolman. Some of you might know who he is. He's a big lover of ancient Egypt, but he's also all about fasting, water fasting, juice fasts. And what I learned from him is it's quite incredible the impacts having a fast can do for you. So if you go for 72 hours just on water, or he says you can't have green tea or black coffee, in 3 days, your immune system resets itself. That's incredible. And this has been scientifically proven. It's been documented. And he also addresses the issue or the wording of starvation, right? He says that technically starving, is when sorry for the dog barking. Technically starving is when our bodies start eating our muscle instead of fat. So when your body is just run out of food, run out of sources of nutrition, it starts to eat your muscles. That is when we're actually starving. So when we think we're starving, we're not. And more often than not too, when we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So it's really fascinating. When I was learning all this, I thought we put so much pressure on ourselves, don't we? And he also suggested that you start late in the day. So you've eaten during the day, which I've done. I've literally just started my fast now as of 5 p.m. That way you've eaten this day. And when you return to coming off your fast, to starting to have food again, I'll be finishing at 5 p.m. So that day I can have my dinner. Probably something light like a soup or... So that's a clever way to do it. So that's how we're doing it. And then because I had this coming up, I noticed I had an email. I'm getting emails from Sadhguru, and he actually sent one on fasting. How's that? And he says, I don't know if this is the correct pronunciation, but he calls it Ekadashi. He says it's 11 days after a new moon we should fast, and 11 days after a full moon we should fast. And that's simply because of the energies of the planet and how we relate to that. But he also mentioned that we often force ourselves to eat when we're not even hungry. And that's putting effort into our bodies, or making our bodies work harder than necessary. And let's be honest, it's an obese planet. So I typically only eat when I am hungry, but then I would wait till the last minute and probably go for something less healthy because it's fast. But it's interesting, isn't it? And typically Eastern religions or Eastern cultures, they all have a fasting time. They all fast. It's been happening for thousands of years. So it's fascinating to me, all this stuff. Anyway, so I've begun. I'll let you know next Sunday how I go and the results of it all. If you go longer than 3 days, it's kind of more of a spiritual venture too. It's not just about the physical of it all. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next Sunday and tell you how it all went. Bye for now.